Well, it's Sunday. Um, we're back out here. Called it early yesterday. Um, I had a bunch of things going on. Nobody was really on the stream. So it's like, let me call this and take care of this crap that I gotta take care of. One of the things was my daughter was having her friend over. They were hanging out here, so I was out here supervising the situation. And so I did a little bit more work on this Micron as we were going. So I'll show you here in a second what all I did. It's not a lot, but there is enough to go ahead and give a short rundown. Get our camera set up. Let's see what we got. All right. Kids also made a mess out here, so there's that fact. So I'm gonna pick that stuff up real quick, but we have our Z drives installed, our bed, and our brush for the nozzle. I do need to get some stuff printing though. I need to print that clicky probe dock and everything. Oh, kids just leave drinks laying all over the place. These need to go in and get dumped out because I'm sure they smell terrible now. But yeah, so today we're going to try to get our gantry built and installed, and see where we're at that point. I've been drying some filament with the humidity and everything. Been having a bunch of stringing issues, and before I chased my tail on possible issues from the box turtle, because I really can't see the box turtle causing that issue, I went ahead and printed a stringing test, and we had stringing all the way up and down that from 0 to 1 millimeter of retraction. So yeah, so we went ahead and put the filament in the dryer. We'll probably load that back up here and run that test again now that it's been in the dryer for, I don't know, 14 hours or something like that. I need to get the filaments for what I need to print the parts on this for the clicky probe in the dryer so that they're drying out. So we'll get that going. Let's open this up for a second. There we go. We'll let it try to track me around the room for a little bit this morning while I take care of some of this stuff before we get going. And we'll see if anybody shows up. So, a couple things. We got a little wiper dock printed for the box turtle. It's going to replace the brush. It mounts on the back like clicky dock, and then this slides in and out. Showing it to the wrong camera. This slides in and out, and then goes up and down for all your adjustments. And it gets a little A1 bamboo wiper, which I'm assuming is just adhesive on there. Oh, this goes on it like such. Morning, Poity. How are you this morning? How'd your cleaning go yesterday? So this is pretty snazzy. Thank you, Down Under Maker, for pointing me in the direction of this. It's off the Armored Turtle GitHub. Yesterday we were doing a multicolor print, and this was this part right here with the orange in there. That turned out pretty good. Just a little something, but it took 48 changes, I think, to put that orange in there. And the box turtle ran it flawlessly. Then this is the back grill mount that, again, yesterday morning, Down Under Maker reminded me of that Steve made. It got the angle inlet on. Cleaned some, got printers prioritized, stripped serial number 1 black box down to its kinematics. Nice. I seen the black box that Chris has up at KB3D. The pretty sweet printer. And then we got the cartographer, which, as a happy accident, came with one of the wipers that I was needing to order. I had already started like getting that stuff ready to print, and then got this yesterday. So I traded the black Micron frame and the original Micron panels for the cartographer, and an N20 motor for the box turtle. The guy who had already given me a bunch of stuff just out of the kindness of his heart. So I wasn't worried about the difference. Terry, good morning. How are you today? Welcome to the stream. I don't believe I've seen you before. Oh, you have his original black box? Nice. I was going to message you last night, Poity, and I was like, nah. I was like, I had a couple questions for you, but I'll talk to you about them later. Oh, goodness gracious. My youngest daughter and all of her Nerf blasters. Skyrim, how are you today? Yeah, I might message you sometime this week. It's nothing major. Just some stupid questions. Of course. Ought to get that going. On charge. All right. Doing pretty good this morning. Awesome. Glad to hear it. I don't mean stupid in that way, Poity. I mean just random crap, like nothing pressing. Oh, so I've been trying to find somebody that has the ability to do some CAD to help me out, but it's not going great so far. This is the hub to the box turtle. A lot of folks have issues with lane 4, and I think I found what is causing everybody's issue. So I dug into this a little bit. So a lot of people, myself included, have issues with lane 4 on the box turtle, where it stops and gets stuck in the hub. Let me see if I can get this. Steven. Yeah. So trying to get decent angle. So when filament loads in here, it runs oh goodness. We might need some light on the situation. Let me grab a flashlight. It runs through here, and there you go. You can see it. There's a little bearing that sits in here. And that's your filament sensor. Your switch sits on top of it. But when it runs in through lane 4, it stops and hits into the wall where that bearing is. Just because of the angle of it, it's coming in across here. So it's coming in across here and at an angle, and it starts to turn right about here to go out the back here. And by the time it gets to this, where this bearing is for the filament sensor, it's still inclined to be coming this way. And it pushes that bearing up out of the way, because that's what it does for the filament sensor. Pushes that up out of the way, and then runs into the wall where that bearing, that helps retain that bearing in there. So what I want to do, and what I'm trying to find somebody to help me with, is to take this part and extend it this way, extend it out this way to like here, and add another like 8 millimeters for after all 4 of these channels converge, and extend that pathway so that there's like an 8 millimeter section of straight shot out the back before it gets to this filament sensor, so that when the filament comes through and past that filament sensor, it's already made its turn, and its natural inclination is to continue going forward straight out the hole in the back, rather than trying to continue on at an angle this way and run into that wall. It would mean that everybody would have to take and shorten the PTFE tubes that run from the extruders to this. But you're disconnecting them anyway, put a new hub in anyhow. It's not that hard to make a little jig that takes 8 millimeters off of it and goes from there. But I need to find somebody with CAD skills good enough to do it, because my CAD skills at the moment are basically limited to what I can do with the cut tool and whatnot and slicer. Good morning, Caden. I did pick up a CAD class book the other day. See. I picked up wait for my stupid whatchamacallit to decide it wants to work again. Keyboard to wake up. CAD class. Books. Mastering Autodesk Fusion, 2nd edition. This is what I picked up yesterday. Or not yesterday. Friday. I heard about it before and then got reminded about it on Polymaker's stream the other day. Sean, aka the Print General, mentioned that he had done it. And so if you want the book, it's just a donation and you download the PDF. You could order a hardcover off of Amazon, apparently, and they've got like a whole course that has videos and whatnot, but I don't have $400 for a course right now, so we went with the donate what you want and get the book. SolidWorks and Tinkercad. Yeah, you have a little bit because you were doing stuff in school. So that's pretty awesome. It gets you started. I guarantee you know more than me. I've made a couple things in Tinkercad, and I made all the mounts over here that hold all my soldering stations. I made all those in Fusion. But let me tell you, it took me probably a good 12 hours to do 4 little shelves. Steven, you're ahead of me. You are a CAD god at that point compared to me. I tried to do the last CAD thing I did. What was I making? I was making something. Oh. So we've got covers for the couch, and they got like a little clip that goes, and the 2 elastic straps come around behind it and lock into it. I was like, this seems like an easy project just to try to get my feet wet in CAD, in Fusion. And it should, in my mind, I should just be able to take and draw a picture, because it's one thing extruded out like 4 millimeters, draw that pattern, and then extrude it. And I couldn't do it. Or no, that's not what I was doing. I did that in Tinkercad because I figured it was the easiest way to do it. And it was. What was I doing? Oh, this is what I was doing. I was making this mount to hold this 100-watt GAN charger. One of the best deals in tech I've ever bought. Short side quest on that, I guess. They were originally like $30, supposed to be on sale for $15 at Walmart. Get up to the register and they ring up $7. So I immediately go back and get a second one. I've got one inside on my computer desk, and this one used to be in my backpack for travel. I wish I had got more of them. So it's got a 100-watt port, a 60-watt port, and then a 15-watt port. 2 of them USB-C and 1 of them USB-A. Jack, you're right with me. Cut and butcher and organ slicer. Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know, these diffusers for these giant double XL light stick PCBs. I cut and modified that in Orca Slicer, and they're gonna go in the Trident. Thought I'd get them in here yesterday, but I didn't. Anyway, let's get to doing something. So, as I said, we got the bed installed. We've got the brush installed. We got the fan installed. We got the Z drives installed. We need to get our gantry made and set that in. So here we have our camera that's going to lose its freaking mind because it's on AI tracking still. Let me turn the AI tracking off. Open this app. Turn off that. And we're just gonna. Gimbal that up a little bit. There we go. So we've got our parts here. We'll go ahead and figure out what we need for nuts. Looks like we need 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom. We'll get those installed. One. The trick to these is you want them so stuff doesn't fall apart, but you don't want them so tight as to lock everything in place, because you're going to come back and de-rack your gantry at some point here, and you need these loose enough so that you can de-rack your gantry, but you don't want it falling apart. Got massive texts coming in this morning, as it is my brother-in-law's birthday. Let me get the right thing up here so I can see y'all's chat. Excellent. Turn your Micron bed sideways so you can run 2 filters. Nice. Very nice. Let me put my flashlight back. These are my absolute favorite flashlights ever. They are Olight T3Cs. I think that's the number of them. They run on one little AAA battery. They got 2 settings for dim and bright, but the clip on them goes both ways. which makes them nice because you can just pop them on your hat. I will forward your happy birthdays to him, Steven. Still use the one I got you? Nice. Yeah, so Olight has them on their site all the time on clearance or sale, like as kind of like a, I don't know, get people on the page to buy stuff. There, last time I was on their page, it looked like a Chinese scam website, but their stuff is fantastic. But yeah, I've given one to one of my brother-in-laws, got one from my son, got one from my uncle. They are awesome, Jack, and I think those are normally like $30. Like I said, they put them up. I've gotten them a couple times where they were on sale for $5. That particular flashlight. Yeah. I mean, I heard of Olight when I was looking for a weapons light for a pistol, and I ran into them. Yeah, like I ordered a couple of them. You know, you kind of have to in order to justify the freaking shipping, but they issue them at work too, which is nice. So I've got them at work. They used to use the Streamlight pen lights, and now I think they still have the Streamlight pen lights, but now they have those Olight ones, which they're great. All right, more Gantry crap. I've got so many of these little white things in this tray. It's making it hard to find anything. I started working on pulling some of them out the other day. Just standing out here talking to somebody. Talking to the old lady, probably. Just because it was so hard to find anything in here. Been with you through many power outages and dropped earbuds. Yeah, you do have a tendency to lose earbuds. Thought I had a pair of, there they are, tweezers. That YouTube preview up there on my YouTube studio thing is extremely far behind. Go get your V-Core back from Jeremy. I don't know his space setup, but he might be happy to not have that giant thing sitting around. Honestly, Steven. Is your Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder ready to go on it? All right, so there's that part. Now, let me unhook the wires from these and get our gantry built. So, what do we need on here? We need one on the back for our temp sensor, one in the back for our drag chain, four on the top for our AB motor mounts, and four on the bottom for our AB motor mounts. Print failures on the motor mounts. What was failing when you were printing them? Jerry, that is awesome. Yes, you can find me on Discord. Are you in any of the Discord channels? West 3D, the Voron Discord. Or if not, in the description of the video should be an email address that you can send it to. If you're not on Discord, I know some people are not. You'll email it? All right. And then we'll take a look at it. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'll keep an eye out for it. Bear with me for a minute. I gotta run inside real quick. All right, we're back. Jerry 3D, give me a minute. I gotta get back to my computer and I will email it. I'm about a minute behind on the stream. Well, you should be able to catch up now. Go ahead and hit live if you haven't already, and we'll wait for you. I will check and see if you happen to have emailed it while we were waiting. James Terry, you did. Okay. Yep, I got it. I just sent it to my iCloud drive. So what we're going to do is go over here and we're going to open up this part and take a look at what Jerry did. All right. So, here we go. Let's make this bigger. Not quite that much. Zoom in on the part. Let's go ahead and slice it. Get down here and take a look at the pathway. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's do this for reference. Let's go in here and grab the latest revision of the hub and look at the difference. Jerry, I'm trying to see where the changes that you made were. Unless I opened the wrong thing. Which is entirely possible. I did. I opened the wrong thing. That's my bad. That's my bad. All right. So this all matches up still. This is longer clearly, but that's exactly what we wanted. We knew that that was going to happen. Extended this, made it wider, and then comes into this narrow. So that's a stage situation, but I think that'll still work, and it might actually help reliability there. Awesomeness, Jerry. No, you sent the right one, Jerry. I opened the wrong one. I had two different files in there. That was totally on me. That was not you. This is awesome work, sir. Now, I needed to reprint this. All right, Caden. Have a good one, sir, and I'll talk to you later. Collie, good morning. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back over here. We're going to print this at a finer layer height. To try to reduce any issues. I don't understand the math on it, but I've been told that to do your layer heights in 0.4 increments based on the steps on the stepper motor and the rotation on the screws for a trident. Yep, exactly, Stephen. So we're going to do that. But first, we are going to slice this. It's going to be almost 4 hours, but that's okay. Well, actually, I don't want to do that because I want to run this first. G-code files. Delete that. I want to get this loaded up. I needed to load up that whatchamacallit. So we've had some filament drying. We're gonna run this retraction test again. With some dry filament. Like I said, this filament sat out on top of this all week, pretty much, and it's been really humid with all the rain and everything. And then we're going to get some filament in there drying for the purposes of printing our parts for the clicky dock. I think we're going to go with this Prince of Purple. Actually, so we opened the other day on stream just to check it out, and I haven't made anything with it. The new Ambrosia Violet Void. I'm gonna stick that in the dryer and maybe tomorrow take a look. So this one is Prince of Purple and this one is Violet Void. Damascus, how are you? John, good morning. The Mammoth, good morning. Jack, I did. They are incredibly helpful. Thank you. Yeah. Incredibly helpful. So let's get both of these in there. I don't have anything else on this printer in Violet Void, but I don't see any issues. Everybody likes a nice little accent wall in their house. Just one little bit of random color, and it's purple, so it should fit in. If not, we don't have to use it. I need to get filament back in the bags. I just wanted to get stuff dried. Since I was running the dryer, all this stuff has been being used throughout the week. So we'll get Prince of Purple and Violet Void in here. Get our glass-filled ABS out of here. Got a little chilly this morning. I need to open my last spool of Planetary Blue yesterday. So we got those in there. I need to find a roll of Midnight Meteorite over here. There's our Midnight Meteorite. And our roll of white. And put those in there so that we have all of our colors for, no, this is super blue. Wrong one. This is Midnight Meteorite. I need to get more white filament. I am almost out of it. We're not even going to bother printing white because I am almost out of it. So we're going to save that for anything that I absolutely have to have in white. So there's no point in drying it. All right, there's that. What do we got going on over here? The titanium anode is awesome. When I rebuilt my switch wire, I reprinted it in that. Damascus, everything I understand is that it helps. I never built, so take this as what it is. I never built the Micron and used it by itself. So, I don't know what the chamber temps look like before. But after, with the garage out here, the temperature in the garage being below freezing, it had chamber temps in the 70s, 70C, above 70C, with the ambient temperature in the garage being below freezing, below 0C, below 32 Fahrenheit. And it got there fast. By the end of the 10-minute heat soak on the bed, the chamber temp was in the 50s. So the thing is, with the Doom Cube, you have 2 panels and then another panel. So you have 3 panels on top, 3 panels on bottom, and then 2 panels on each side. And the front is a door, not like 2 panels with gaps and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been extremely happy with it because a very large part of the reason why I wanted to build this was I need to get something, it's normally like a replacement part or something, printed in the middle of winter. I do not want to have to heat my entire garage to get chamber temps suitable for printing stuff, or have the printer heating up for an hour to get chamber temps. Now the Trident and the V0 do really good with that. 2.4 because it's massive, 350, it does not. That's interesting. I don't know why I have thumbs up bubbles. Whatever. So yeah, the thumbs up bubble threw me off. So yeah, it would heat up faster. I could do regular parts. And then I also wanted to be able to do some more, push the chamber temps a little higher for some more of the engineering grade filaments. I really want to get a roll of the PPS-CF from Polymaker, the PPA from bamboo. Is there a difference between PPA, PPS? I don't understand because they seem to be the same with a different name, but I haven't looked into it that much. Marcus, some people have. I have not. I figure I've got this massive bed heater right here. And I got a fan on underneath of it that sucks the heat off of it, blows it back up into the chamber, and it works really well for me. Especially on this one. It's got the same setup on the Trident, the 2.4. Both have Nevermore filters underneath their bed. They have dual fans. Normally, I don't have an issue. It's when it's stupid cold, middle of the week, I'm not out here. I just need to get some parts printed so I can work on something on the weekend when I am off. That it's an issue. Generally speaking, I have my print profile set up to not start printing ABS or ASA until the chamber temp is above 40°C. Generally, when I'm out here, by the time it's done that heat soak, they're well in the 10-minute heat soak on the bed, they're well into the 40s, and it's not an issue. The Trident will get chamber temps in the mid 50s, pushing up to 60. The V0, I can get chamber temps in the 60s. The 2.4 chamber temps stay in the 40s. It just is what it is. It's massive. And it prints down low where, you know, heat rises. The Trident and the V0 are printing up closer to the top of the thing. So the temps in the print area are a little higher just based on physics. But anyway, I lost one of my nuts on the bottom, so we're going to replace that and then get the other motor on here. So there's that. Get some hardware. So one of my favorite things about the R1 version of the Micron is the fact that the rear extrusion for the gantry between the AB drive motors was moved forward so that the drag chain is behind that extrusion rather than in front of it, which means that your tool head board does not run into your drag chain when it moves back and forth all the way at the back of Y travel. All right, so we need 4 more of these nuts. As I understand it, there is some STL files floating around out there to relocate the gantry on the 2.4 like that. But also, as I understand it, the next revision of the the V2, whatever they call it, will have that on it as well, where the the rear extrusion for your, between your A and B mounts will be relocated. These are not the right screws because it's going to have belts. The belts. The belts. The belts go on there. Damascus, yeah, it probably would help with keeping it from letting the heat escape into your room too, especially you got a lot of printers going. Putting a poly dry on your V0, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. I don't know how hot the poly dryers go because they don't have temp settings, do they? As I understand it, you just kind of level 1, level 2, level 3. Is that accurate? So let's find our other screws for this. Let's get a driver. Setting 1 is PLA, setting 2 is PETG, 3 is nylons, etc. All right. So nylons are supposed to dry like 65 or above or something like that. So you say etc. I'm assuming that's also ABS and ISA. So I would say setting 3 is probably like 60 degrees Celsius or so. Because I'm assuming they're going to want to err on the side of caution with people not melting filaments in their machines. This does not want to stay in the IGUS bearing, but that's okay. So this one, put that on there. Preload. 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom for our nuts. This is the like beefy front idler. One, two, 3, and 4. Now we need some parts. We need some parts. We need the belt clamps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. 8 belt clamps. That's the top one. That's the bottom one. And then we need some 3mm washers. They claim 50, 60, and 70C. All right, if that's what they say, I mean, I have no reason not to believe them. So we're going to put 2 washers. Put our belt clamp. And then our Y-axis on him. All right. We're not going to tighten that up a whole lot. I'm just going to kind of leave that loose. We're going to get screws that are going to go on the top. Let's actually do it this way. Let's undo that and let's run this belt through first. I should probably just put this gantry together and then put it in here. I don't know what I'm doing. Dropping nuts on the floor. Two. 1, 2, and a third one disappeared into the ether. All right. Let's go ahead and find our belt clamps. Apparently I can only find the one. There we go. That string is looking way better on that retraction tower now that the filament's dry. So I know that there's a lot of back and forth amongst people about how much you need to, or whether you need to dry your ABS and your PETG, and how much do they actually absorb moisture and all this other crap. I live in the Midwest, not the most humid part of the country, also not the most dry and arid. So I would say it's probably about average. For 2 years, well, for a year, had no filament dryer. And then back in December of 23, I picked up this fixed dry filament dryer. It works really well for drying filament. I hate the top on it. It's got some rollers in there, but I have some issues with trying to print out of it for some reason, because where this comes out, and the fact that it's completely round, there's like no, like if it was square on the top and your filament could come out and straight across the top versus coming out and making a 90-degree turn to come out, I think it would do a lot better for printing out of. Especially when your spool is completely full. Then back in October, November, I picked up one of the Sunlu S4 filament dryers. I was hesitant on it. There's a long story behind my interactions with Sunlu. We're not going to go into them because it's not relevant. Other than the fact that it made me hold off on getting one. But being able to dry 4 spools, it works amazing. It works amazing to print out of. It dries my filaments perfectly. I have no issues with it. But my experience has been that while you can, yes, ABS, that like when I get down to the end of a roll, and there's just a few meters left on it, I won't bother putting it back in a bag. I'll throw it on top of the thing, and if I need a quick print or something like that, I'll just grab it. It kind of peaks out on where it'll go for moisture, how much moisture it'll actually absorb versus you know, a dry film. It will only absorb so much regardless of how humid it is. Right now in my garage, meter saying it is 49% humidity in the garage, 94% humidity outside because it's freaking raining. But and when it's been sitting there for months and I print something, the print quality on it, I'll start getting some little tiny like dimples and imperfection where the moisture was in there, and spoiled at that little spot and kind of like pops, and so you get some, it's not exactly perfectly nice and smooth. Does it interfere with anything? No. Can you see it from more than a foot away? No. But it bothers me. And you'll get a lot of like little stringing, nothing major, nothing that 2 seconds with a torch won't knock off. Raj, how's it going? Steve Clark, 60% humidity for you. But if I dry it and I keep it dry, like those filaments I just took out the dryer, dried overnight, they'll probably be good for a while sitting in the bag. Leaving them sit out in open air depends on how much humidity there is. But there is a markedly better print quality. And you can dial in so that you're not getting stringing. So much easier. Dial in those retraction settings. And you're just going to have way better prints. Do you have to dry it to get excellent prints? No. Does it help? Yes. So, I don't know if any of you were here for to look at the first tower and the stringing on it. Let me get you back over here so you can actually see it. So, and how much stringing there was. Again, this is 0 to 1 millimeter and 0.5 millimeter increments for retraction. I've got a little bit of stringing at 0 and 0.5, and then nothing above it. Just from drying the filament. It went from being a spider web in between there to no stringing whatsoever. Just from 14 hours or thereabout sitting in that dryer. Again, it runs being on for 6 hours, and then it sets itself to dry down to 20% humidity, and then stop and stay off until the humidity inside the dryer reaches 30%. Normally I'd let this plate cool down and then start, but I kind of want to keep these chamber temps in there and keep everything so we can slice up this model, which dude, I am so grateful for you for making this for me. So here's what we've got. This is the hub for the box turtle. And I've been trying to find somebody, because my CAD skills are not good enough, to modify it so that this part right here, because this is lane 4, and what happens is as your filament comes in at an angle and turns and goes under this bearing right here for the filament sensor, that bearing lifts up out of the way, and because it's traveling at this angle, it's still, and only had this short little spot here to turn and have its natural inclination to be coming straight out, it still wants to kind of come in and come at an angle and runs into this wall right here and stops dead, causing all your load errors. But you don't have that issue coming in on any of these other channels, especially 1 and 2, because it wants to ride against this wall on the other side, and 3 is pretty straight, but 4 wants to come in and hit this wall right here. It's been a huge issue with everybody with a box turtle that has issues. If they're having issues with one of the lanes, it's lane 4. So I wanted this area here to be extended so that there was more of an area for it to have a nice natural inclination to go straight. And I want to be sure, yep. J. Terry 3D was kind enough to do the CAD work to get us here. So now it's going to come in here, and then make a turn this way. So its natural inclination, if not straight, is actually going to be to ride this exterior wall, the same as these other 3 lanes. This geometry is even better than what I had in my head. The only thing is you're going to have to shorten your PTFE tubes ever so slightly when you go to install this. But we are getting ready to print this. I'm going to do some testing and see how it works. Collie, I didn't make the model. So that is up to Terry as to whether he would like to publish it, or if he would like me to publish it, put it on my GitHub and my printables page. That is 100% up to him. He made the model. I do not want to take it and do anything with it outside of what he wants to do. I don't know if he would prefer that it not be shared, to share it once it tested before he shares it. That is 100% up to him. If he is not here to answer in chat, I will email him. Steven, that's an excellent idea as well. So Carly, I promise I will follow up on it. I will absolutely follow up on it. So we're going to go ahead, because this one here on the top is their absolute newest revision. Hasn't been pushed out to the GitHub yet. Oh, I just noticed this. This has been added on here too. So your PTFE tube can come through and then in here. That's awesome too. Terry, okay. So what I'm going to do then, Terry, is I'm getting ready to print this. I will get this installed sometime today, and then I will run some tests. I'm going to test it before I install it, and I'm going to install it, and I'm going to run some prints. I'm going to just load and unload that lane and see how it performs. If it's running well, I am going to put it on my printables. I'm going to put it on my GitHub, and I'm going to go ahead and send it to the Armored Turtle guys as well. And I'm going to absolutely credit you for it as well, because you did the CAD work. So if it works, that's great teamwork. One person comes up with an idea, the other person has the skills to execute it. So upload and print. It's going to take about 4 hours to get this thing off the printer. It's 11 now, so I can absolutely get this in this afternoon. Maybe we come back this afternoon and stream putting it in and testing it. That's up to you guys. I'm super excited because I was really trying to find somebody to do the work, to execute the idea I had. So I am incredibly grateful for you, Terry. Yep, that's absolutely true, Steven. I think actually yesterday on my early morning stream, I think the shirt I had on said teamwork makes the dream work, actually. think that was the shirt I was wearing yesterday morning. It was one of the shirts they gave us at work. But unfortunately, what work's idea of teamwork makes the dream work is less of a reciprocal teamwork and more of a you work with us. The workers work with management on what management wants and makes management's dream work, rather than us working together reciprocally to make everything work. So I have an issue with that shirt. Yes. To a certain extent, yeah. I'm also a fan of, there's a show, it's on Hulu. It's called Letterkenny. It is absolutely hilarious depending on what kind of humor you have. And I think it's absolutely hilarious. I put this on wrong. So, I'm not sure if you can see this, but the Y rails on the side was supposed to be on the bottom. But anyway, they've got a saying on there, many hands make light work or something like that. And I really like that saying. It's true. I tell my kids all the time, there's also a thing on there, he says all the time, pitter patter, best get at her. I tell my kids that all the time. I'm like, telling them they've got to do something and they're sitting there not doing it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Stephen. So this is a bit of an aside and a personal thing for me. So, every person that I train at work, when I train somebody, it ends one of two ways. Either A, they quit in very short order because, well, they're just not the kind of material. So I, at work, am currently a blow mold operator. I run a blow mold machine that is basically the size of 4 2.5, 3-story houses, depending on how tall they're laid out. Tall, like a 3-story house tall, and like 2 houses wide. There's 4 blow mold machines in my work. They take up the equivalent of 1 city block. And I run one of those currently. Prior to that, I was a team leader in the plastics welding department. I've trained a lot of people for a lot of different things. And they either quit or they end up in management and my boss. And they have refused me every promotion I have applied for. But yet I have trained half of their managers, half of their middle management. But apparently, you know, whatever. The latest one was I applied for a assistant manager position, and I got told that they would rather see me be a coordinator for a little bit and have that experience as a coordinator, when 3 months prior to that they refused to give me a coordinator position. So you make sense of that. At one point, and like, they refused to give me positions they asked me to apply for. They came to me and said, hey, apply for this. We really want you for this position. And then refused to give it to me later. I don't know. Yeah, Jack, it would absolutely be after Steve's stream, because I want to watch Steve's stream. I haven't been able to catch his stream for so it used to be 1 p.m. Sundays for me was when we all folded laundry. So I'd get the iPad out, set the iPad up, and watch the stream while I folded laundry. But it hasn't worked out like that for since summer of last year. So I keep missing his stream. I keep getting dragged out of the house to do things on Sunday. I hate getting dragged out of the house. So I keep missing his stream. And I kept getting dragged out in the middle of Lee Marie's stream to go grocery shopping on Saturday. Rearrange that so we go shopping Friday morning when I get home from work after I drop the kids off to school. So that there's less people in the grocery store, and so that, I can have more time to do what I want on the weekends. I understand the girls want to get out of the house. They've been stuck in the house all week. But I've been dragged out of the house to go to work all week. I want to be able to do what I want to do on the weekends, which is hang out in my garage and do shit. Surprisingly, you remember them saying that. You remember them saying what? I'm sorry, Jack. I'm not sure what you're referring to in that situation. Anyway. So, let's get this. Gantry put in here, so I feel like I've made progress in some sort of way. I guess I did not have that in there tight enough. You gotta go pick your sign up. I'm not gonna lie, there's been a lot of times that I'll put a stream on in the car just to listen to it while I'm driving. I've traditionally, when I drive, I am a podcast or audiobook listener in the car. Generally, the only time I'm listening to music in the car is on long road trips where I'm kind of by myself, or I'm the only one awake because I seem to always make long drives overnight. And I'll crank the music, put on stuff I can sing along to help keep me awake. So yeah, I'll put on streams while I'm driving in the car. All right. Let's get this put in here. All right. Come on, come on. Oh, good Lord. Tic Tac won't be printing today. I'm not sure how far along they've made it on their Tic Tac build. Like I said, I've kind of missed most of it. Just taking a look, make sure that our first layer went down all right and we're well underway, which we are. Four hours from now should be about the time Steve's getting done. Talked to Steve yesterday, Poity. I talked to him yesterday too. Not about Tic Tac though. I talked to him yesterday. So, at one point, I was trying to do streams with makers and stuff like that. My dream for it was to be like a podcast where, and I was pushing it out to like Spotify and iTunes and all that, with all different kinds of makers, not just makers in the 3D printing industry, but some cosplay people. So, they were making whatever. They were using their hands and they were making a thing, being creative. It didn't work out, but one of those episodes was with Steve last year, about this time, the end of March, because it actually went out and was streamed the day of Rocky Mountain at Steve's normal streaming time. But if you want to go back, it's on the channel. It's under the Makers Making Podcast playlist. Go back, check it out. Me and Steve sat and talked about all sorts of stuff, cars, printers, all sorts of stuff on that stream. It's a really good one. There's another one with Pex Peppers. makes the hot sauce. So there's another one with him. It is surprisingly difficult to get people to want to come on and do that kind of thing. And also, West 3D kind of does it way better than I ever could. So I kind of just let the people that are better at doing it do it. West 3D, Jonathan over at the Next Layer, they are really good at doing those streams and those kind of podcast things. So let them do it. Tucker Carlson, I haven't. So I used to watch him occasionally when he was on Fox News. I haven't followed him since he left Fox at all. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of stuff. Am I peaking out? Is my levels peaking out? My mic levels say that it's gotten up into the red some. Anyway, so yeah, I'm constantly surprised at how different my voice sounds on stream versus how it sounds in my own head. And but I'm told by those that know me best and who've actually been forced to watch moments of my content, because believe me, the folks that know me, like the old lady and the kids, have no interest. My son, he popped on stream earlier. He's Caden, but he'll watch like my shorts and stuff, and he's never said, "Oh wow, you sound way different." So apparently, I sound the same on stream. But you also got a lot of audio stuff that can change the way you sound. You can work with equalizers and all that kind of stuff to kind of alter your voice a little bit. Noise filters change it a bit. Sound gates change it a bit. Anyway, back to the very annoying task of getting these installed. What did I just drop? I just dropped something. All right. Oh, there's the screw out of the front. So what I need to do is I need to get some of the little stoppers and move this all the way up. So that I can get an Allen wrench in there. And so these are kind of staying level. All right. Take them up to here. I'm just raising these Z-axis carriages so that they stay in place with the little rubber stoppers that come with the rails. So I can sit this stuff up on top. And have it kind of stay in place. And then I can get a driver up underneath of it. I think I found my parts issue. The cooling fan wasn't responding. Time for a test. Uh-oh. That's not good. I really wanted to pick up the Vendor, is that how you pronounce it? The fans from West 3D. There's 5015 blower fans. Do they have those in the 4010 blower fans? If they do, I'd like to try them out for the Dragon Burner. Anyway, So, what do we got? We got this. We need some washers. So, run our screw up. There's no nuts in there. That would be extremely helpful. Let's get our 2 nuts installed. $15 extrusions are such a pain in the butt. All right, so we got our nuts in there. Get our screw up there. Get our 2 washers on there. Get our belt clamp on there. What is sitting on your belt? Run our belt through here. And then get this screwed in. All right. We can run this belt up through here. Loop it over the top. And then we'll come back and get that all done all at once. Uh, 4028. Oh, is this what is this? What fan is this printer on, Steven? All right. All right, that screw's not in there. Okay, so same deal. Let's grab some washers, rat rake. Wait a minute, how many rat rakes do you have? Rat rig would be a fun build, I think. I would not be opposed to building one of those. I got the new VCore 4, like, they got an IDEX version of it now. All right, there's that. Let's get our belts. Get some slack pulled around this way. Get that in here. Three, four. Matching up the number of teeth that are on this belt on the outside. Oh. Same thing, we're just gonna run our belt up and over, just kind of tidy things up. Get out of the way, we're not actually attaching it yet. Two rat rakes. So you have a V-core and a minion. So this fan's on the minion. 3 Prusas, nice. 2 bamboos, 4 vorons, a few off types, 2 deltas, and a woody i3, and a resin, and a Milo, and a positron. Nice. I thought I had a lot. You have more. I don't have, the only off-the-shelf printers I have ever had is a Ender 3. Is the problem that you don't have enough printers? Or is it the problem that your wife is mad about how many printers you have? And that CR10 that I fixed and ended up just staying. But I've never had a bamboo. I've never had a Prusa. I've never had any of the other off-the-shelf printers. I guess my resin's Anycubic Mono Photon, the very original Anycubic resin printer. No, she never comes downstairs, so she just has no idea. Have the delivery guy like the delivery instructions are to deliver it to the neighbor's house, and then you go get it when she's not looking. Your resin hasn't run in over a year. Mine only runs like when I absolutely have to have some sort of resin part. I only have some gray resin for it. I've never had anything else. But it was given to me. I very much appreciate it. It works. I have another resin printer, another Photon, same exact one, sitting right up there. They were both given to me together along with the wash and cure station. Neither one of them worked. One of them had a bad screen. The other one had bad like touch screen. So I took the touch screen off the one that had a working screen and made one working printer out of it. Yeah, you need Belco doors, Steven. Get some Belco basement doors, and leave your delivery instructions, and just leave the Belco doors unlocked. Say, deliver, open Belco doors, sit on steps, and then you're golden. All right. Finish getting this put in here. All right. Now this one. Again, we'll put this through here, try to get the right number of teeth sticking out. Drop my part. So, speaking of Belco basement doors, so that is one thing. So, I grew up in New Jersey, and Belco basement doors were like, that was the standard of what basement doors were. And then I moved out here to Ohio, and that is largely not the case. I've seen Belco doors on one of the houses I remodeled down in Columbus, and that is the only house I have ever seen with them here in Ohio. Basements either have no access at all, or they're like walkout basements or something. And Belco doors are fantastic, man. Then you stick kids' bikes down in the basement, and you just open the doors and roll them up the steps. Yeah, I love it. Is it flooding there too? Yes, my basement is flooded. I keep having to pump it out. I had to wake up, so I pumped it out yesterday morning when I got home from work. Actually, did a stream because I was up. Got home from work, and basement had like 6 inches of water in it. It was a couple inches. The furnace is up on cinder blocks, so it had a few inches before the water would have got to it. The hot water tank is up on a cement pad, and it's the basement's sloped up a little bit there, so it was a little less water. It was about an inch from running into the hot water tank. Granted, the electronics in the hot water tank are a little bit higher up, so it wouldn't have hurt anything right away. But oh my Lord, that's terrible. The basement stairs were not made with wide ass cement. Yeah, my basement stairs are extremely narrow, and so in order to get to my basement, the door to my basement is in the downstairs bathroom, right next to the pot, so you can't even open the basement door all the way. You can open it just wide enough to get a tote, like a Sterilite tote through there. But anyway, so I pumped the basement out yesterday morning. I pumped it out 2 more times during the day. And then I had to get up at, in the middle of the night. I woke up at 3 a.m. and had to pump the basement out. As of starting this, it wasn't deep enough water to prime the pump yet down there, but there was a couple inches of water down there now. That's again, that's horrible about the person that drowned. No, I don't think we had any tornadoes this time around. Last year in February, the end of February, beginning of March, we had one touchdown in the town right north of us, and some a little west of us. Actually, I was down in the basement because of the tornadoes, talking to Steve and organizing that podcast. Eads, I hope I hope everybody made it out all right. Hope everybody has insurance and gets taken care of. That's terrible. The old lady's absolutely terrified of tornadoes. When she was a little girl, they lived in a mobile home park, and a tornado touched down and ripped right through the mobile home park that they lived in when she was a little girl. They were hiding in the utility closet where the hot water tank is in the mobile home. So she is terrified of storms. Belco doors, it's a brand. Let me these basement doors right here. Dun, dun. So they swing open. You got like 3 or 4 steps or whatever to get down into your basement, and then there's just a metal latch. That keep them closed, but they're awesome. That was kind of the standard. If you had a basement, you had these. And here, that is not the case. Tornadoes are fascinating, proof that nature is really alive. They do turns and things that defy all reason and logic. Been through 8 and chased a few here a couple years ago. Steven, out your way on Thursday, man, that storm had a nasty like bow echo. I was like, oh Lord. And watching the wind shear and stuff on the radar, I couldn't believe that you guys didn't have a crap ton of tornadoes out your way. All right. One more. One more. But it would seem as though I have lost the screw. I don't know what size it is. So let me, unless, no, it's not. Let me take this one out of here real quick and figure out what size screw this is. It's always nice having to undo the work you did. That might be the name for them. I've just always known them by their brand name. The trash cans on wheels for driving down the street. Oh, Lord. That's not good. All right. Another 20mm screw. Get our 2 washers on there. Get our belt. Try to do operations that require 3 hands with 2 hands. All right, there's that done. You're in New England. Most houses have them. Most might be a stretch. Okay, 3 by 20 or 16. I think it's 20 millimeters with the IGUS bushings. Yeah, it was 20 millimeters. I printed both versions. I think I printed 3 different versions of these Z mounts. When I was printing stuff for this, at one point, I was pulling files from the wrong one. I was pulling files from the non-R1 part of the GitHub. So, yeah. So I ended up with a lot of parts that were wrong. And then the Doom extrusions were lost in the mail for a month. So I was just like, I just resigned myself to never getting them. And printed all the R1 stuff and had it completely built as an R1. And that day, the post office finally found my package. It had gone to a city with the same name as mine, but in Indiana rather than here in Ohio. And I don't know, just sat there for weeks and weeks and weeks. Rather than them going, you know what, this package doesn't belong here. Let's figure out where it belongs. The package had the right address on it. Had the right address, right? Everything was right. So did the tracking information. So all they had to do was pick it up and scan it and go, oh, or look at it and go, oh, we're in Indiana. This says Ohio. Let's forward this on along to the right place. It got on the wrong truck or got off the truck at the wrong time. Like, it had tracking all the way to Indianapolis and then went missing after Indianapolis. Yeah.
After this trip, do you want to go to IKEA? Mommy said that she would want to.
No.
Why?
Because we don't have money. I'm not going to IKEA just to walk around. That's a long drive. That's like the entire rest of the day. No, I don't. No.
Come on, Zip.
Here, take this stuff and dump it out. Jerry, I guess a Cheaty +4 started a fire and destroyed a house. And you just bought a Cheaty +4. Yeah. So I did see that. Is absolutely horrible. It seems as though no one was hurt, which is good. I won't say that material possessions can always be replaced, because there's material possessions that cannot be replaced. Clearly, otherwise, you know, art museums and stuff like that wouldn't be a thing. Family heirlooms, things that have sentimental meaning. So saying that material possessions can be replaced is a way oversimplification and statement. But it is good to hear that there was no loss of life, as far as I understand. Was it FedEx that lost the package? No, it was USPS. They, in the last 6 months, they have lost half a dozen packages. Of mine. I want to say about 25 to 30% of the stuff that has been shipped to me from USPS has gotten delayed or lost in the last 6 months. FedEx is a whole nother story. So for some reason, and it has got to be whatever system FedEx has for routing packages, like deliver, to tell the delivery driver what house packages go to, because my packages end up across the street. My next door neighbor's packages end up on my side deck. And then my neighbor's packages across the street end up on my front porch. It's every time, it doesn't matter what driver it is. That is where the FedEx packages end up. And it has been like the neighbor across the street, as I've had 2 different people live there in the time that I've owned this house. And next door, I have had 2 different people live next door in the time that I've owned this house. And it has been the same regardless of who was living there. The addresses are right, but I have to be the FedEx man and take everybody their packages and watch for the FedEx guy when he delivers my stuff and go over and get it. Except for FedEx documents. When they send me documents, they bring it to the right house. But FedEx packages go across the street. I don't know why. UPS does the same thing. UPS delivers my packages across the street. I've never had a UPS package come to my house for the wrong address, just FedEx. There was a house near me that lost a recipe book that was handed down through generations. So saying material items can be bought is a big understatement. Some things are priceless. Exactly. Jack, so it sounds like you have an issue with the QGL on the Micron too. I do as well. That's why we're getting rid of Boop and going to Clicky. Hope, fingers crossed, that it helps. Actually, one of the things we did on stream for one of them was just trying to get the QGL working right. I wonder if it was the chamber heater. So as I understand it, Jack, the chamber heater was not in use at the time. Yeah, Steven, I agree. So I live in a neighborhood, like in the middle of town. There's no fences. There's no nothing. Like, it's a nice part of town. I was very fortunate to be able to get the house that I did in the area that I did when I did. Property rates have skyrocketed since I bought this house. But I've gotten reasons for not being able to deliver was access to property blocked by animal. And the only animal that I know of that could have possibly been out front of my house is a gray squirrel. And if you could not walk up on the porch because of a gray squirrel, I question whether or not you should be allowed to leave your house at all. Whether or not you should be seeking mental health treatment. I have gotten, and the kicker was that they delivered the rest of my mail, just not the package. I have gotten the same thing, property inaccessible or whatever for packages, and sometimes they'll have delivered the mail, and I'm just like, well, you were able to deliver the mail, you just forgot it. Put the reason as I fucked up and forgot it. Where I used to live down in Columbus, I was the very last house on the mailman's mail route. They were allowed to return to the hub or whatever at 5 p.m. I would get my mail delivered, if I was lucky, once a week. I would literally see the mail guy down at the corner of the block deliver one or two houses. It was 5 o'clock, get back in their vehicle and leave. I chased them one day back to the thing because my paycheck was delivered via the mail every other week, and they never delivered it. And then I would have to wait 2 weeks before I could file a claim with work to have that check reissued, and they would FedEx it to me. So the paycheck that I got every 2 weeks was the paycheck from a month prior. It was the post office down there had so many lawsuits. It was on the news constantly. Drivers not delivering mail, stealing mail. One driver got caught with bags, like mail bags, full of mail, undelivered mail at his house, where they just didn't deliver it. Now, I will say that if you're giving your postal worker so much mail that they cannot physically deliver it in a reasonable amount of time within their shift, and that is a standard that lots of your carriers do. If it's one carrier that isn't delivering their stuff, then maybe it's a performance issue on their part. If it's all of them, it's probably your fault, and you need to shorten the routes and add more delivery people so that they can deliver the mail and not have to work overtime every day to do so. And so that people get their mail at a reasonable time of day. Nobody wants to get their mail at 8 p.m. All right, let me see what we got going on here in chat. We're off on a side tangent, very much so. FedEx in our area is the worst. I ordered one of the 4-foot powered desks. FedEx damaged the first two they sent. Third one finally came undamaged. The company had me keep all three, even though I only paid for one. Yeah, probably was cheaper to just take the loss than to pay for the shipping back. Yeah, it's just a lame excuse. It's frustrating. I hate being lied to. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I would be okay with I forgot your package. I'm sorry, we'll deliver it tomorrow. But what I'm not fine with is you lying to me and thinking that I am so stupid as to believe that excuse. Because it's insulting my intelligence is what it is. Yeah, Steven, exactly. I could not access property due to animal. I didn't tie a Rottweiler to my porch. Like, freaking ridiculous. I need more coffee. Oh, by the way, so I've not mentioned it. I have a shirt, I have the mug, but if for some reason you would like some of my crazy merch, there is a link in the description. It's fourth wall count. I didn't post it until I actually had, like, I ordered a cup and a t-shirt to get a feel of what the stuff would be. It's actually not bad. It's not bad quality. It's made well. This has been through the dishwasher once. Normally I hand wash my coffee mugs. I'm going to be honest. Normally I just drink black coffee normally. So I normally just rinse them, wipe the edges off and go. But the shirt's been through the laundry several times. I've had no issue with it. So, and it's comfortable. It's a nice shirt. I know a lot of people complain about fourth wall stuff, but it's not bad. Channel, if you want to join the Patreon, link for that too. I can't do YouTube memberships yet. I need more hours. Anyway, so I've never actually promoted any of that, but there you have it. If you so wish. Even if you just, I think the tiers that I made up for the Patreon are kind of funny. So even if you just want to go look and have a laugh at my weird sense of humor, feel free. All right, let's get our belts on the top. Oh, the fridge thing on the gun-owning American that the government warned you about. So, funny story on that one. We're in Rural King, which is a store. They sell animal feed, they sell farm supplies, they sell firearms. They, you know, if you have a tractor supply company near you, they're very much similar to Tractor Supply. But my daughter, we were going to pick up, so she was like 6, 7. Da Vinci, how are you, sir? You have both of them here? Yeah, we were in there. We were picking up some stuff. I was gonna take her out shooting, so we were getting some like skeets and stuff like that. and she saw that poster and had to have it. It was on her bedroom door for a long time, and now it's out here on the refrigerator. There's quite a few fun signs like that out here. I like the tin signs. A lot of people give them to me as gifts. We can take a look at them actually, if you'd like. So, all right. So we have that sign. We have the no trespassing. We're tired of hiding the bodies sign. I have a sign that says, I've reached the age when my obituary will not contain the words untimely. I have warning, no stupid people beyond this point. I have this sign. It's kind of hard to see. I've got hangers in the way. It says Grease Lightning Express Professional Lube Jobs open late, rods polished, joints greased, Johnson bars adjusted, fluids drained, in and out in a jiffy, no appointment necessary. My mother-in-law picked that up for me. Inside, I've got a sign that says Dad's Garage, pointing towards the door. I have warning, my sense of humor may hurt your feelings. What else do we got? We've got sarcasm, one of the many services I offer. Don't tread on me. Tool rules. Don't touch them, don't borrow them, don't move them. Don't even look at them. Above the toolbox. And then I've got a sign that says, beware of just beware. Sign says, when they come for your guns, give them the ammo first. And warning, due to price increase of ammo, do not expect a warning shot. People like to get them for me, give them to me. I really like them. I like all those tin signs. Yeah, Demolition Ranch. I met him quite a few times in Indiana at Cletus and Cars. He's a genuinely nice guy. Then we got the Don't Tread on Me flag, and then Blackbeard's flag up there. Yeah, Indianapolis it's coming up. Should be coming up. Last time I was there was the same weekend as the Indy 500. Bill Brothers, how are you, sir? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, around May 8th. Yep. Went twice. Had a lot of fun. I got this. This is a Cletus hat that I have on. Let Freedom Rip. I got this at Cletus and Cars one year. I've got the El Cromino shirt I picked up there. The first year Matt was there. I don't think he will be. I think he's done. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have a truck and trailer. He got rid of them. I feel like there's more of a story behind why Matt quit than what he's saying, but that's, you know, that's a private matter and that's his business. So, and maybe not. Maybe it's just simply that. But it really seems like there's more to it. Yeah, I understand the privacy concerns too. People get creepy quick. Bill Brothers Yours says, forget the dog, beware of owner. I've caught a couple people while getting ready for Steve's. Yeah, absolutely, Bill Brothers. It's appreciated. It's nice. It's nice to have folks drop in. It's nice to have people to chat with. That's a good, like, 75% of the reason why I'm doing this is just to have somebody to talk to while I'm out here in the garage working on this stuff. This hobby can get extremely lonely. Yeah, I did RC cars for a long time, and while, yeah, you're wrenching on them by yourself a lot, and whatnot, when you go to, race on Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, you know, you're around people. Yeah, you're talking to people on the internet and stuff too, but you actually get to hang out with some people and see some people. And you don't have that in this hobby. Same thing when, like, I did some paintball. Like, you get to see some people when you're out playing paintball. But yeah, this one is way off. It's, it's really unfortunate. Like, I got quite a few people that live within, an hour, and a lot more that live within like 2 hours. And it'd be awesome to be able to, every weekend somebody hosts and everybody goes and hangs out, or, once a month even, or something. I know down in Columbus, Ohio, there's a makers meetup thing that I saw on Facebook once a month or something, where they meet up. I think it's at the college there on Sunbury Road in Columbus, which is kind of cool, but I've never got to go because of just schedule conflicts. They do it in kind of the middle of the week in the evening, and I have to be getting sleep for work, so it's never been a thing I was able to attend. Lee Marie 3D, how's it going? You're one of the folks that live pretty close. Missed you guys not streaming yesterday. It's in the middle of the Polymaker thing. It was noon, and I was like, well, I can kind of put this Polymaker stream on mute and go watch Jeremy and Keela's stream, and then you guys weren't live. I asked what happened to y'all. I figured it was because of the Polymaker thing. And then not 5 minutes later, you show up on the Polymaker stream. All right. So, I know that each one of these belts have the same number of teeth on them and are the same length. So, I have each one of these bottom belts with the same amount sticking out, and then measured the top ones to have the same length of belt sticking out. So I know that all my Z-axis belts are the same length. Got all of them routed on the idler. We should be good to go. Jeremy needs a haircut. I need a haircut too. You're doing better than me, Jeremy. I just, every once in a while, it gets too unmanageable. It's about that point right now. Looks ridiculous sticking out the bottom of my hat. And I grab the clippers and I buzz it off. Eads, take care, sir. I always wear a hat, Bills brothers. Always. I've got a lot of hats. I actually need to grab some of my summer hats and bring them downstairs. Some of my Salt Life hats and stuff like that. I've got a lot of hats that have gotten retired that I still have. Sadly, my Stetson cowboy hat no longer fits. My head has apparently grown in the last 5 years. Lemery 3D, I will. So, hey, while I have you here, the coupon that you get for the black tier on the West 3D site for free t-shirt is only able to be applied to an extra small t-shirt. I don't know if that's something you guys can fix, but I am not an extra small. Thank you. I said I put in a ticket, but about it is I got the box turtle enclosure, and I was going to add the shirt and the hot sauce, and then everything got messed up because the shirt wasn't working. I didn't add the hot sauce because I got flustered, and then couldn't get the black tier discount thing applied right, and oh Lord. So the whole thing got messed up, but it is what it is. But I wanted to let you know about the t-shirt because I want a shirt. I want a hat too. All right, will do. I'll send it over. You want me just to put it in the ticket information, or you want me to actually DM you? Bill Brothers, your wife hates you not getting a haircut. All right, I can just DM you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's get these little stoppers. So, bit of advice. These little stoppers, these little rubber stoppers that come on your linear rails, to keep the carriages from coming off. Save them. Put them in a little bag, put them in a drawer somewhere. Remember where they are. Because if you ever rebuild your printer, which if you have it long enough, you're going to, they come in handy. Just like they did when you built your printer to begin with. All right, now we got to find all these little screws for the X-axis. Should be 8 of them. So far, I've found 4 of them. There's 6. There's 7. There's 8. Little tiny M2 screws to attach our axis here. I appreciate you, Jeremy. Yeah, you gotta save those. You gotta save all the random screws. You gotta save everything. I do believe you just had a poll about this. Seemed like maybe Mrs. Lee Marie disagreed on whether or not you should save everything. But all right, there we go. Now we can get the rest of these in and it's not going to be falling all over the place. I don't know about y'all, but I hate working with these M2 and M2.5 screws. I'm getting really hungry. It is definitely lunchtime. I made tacos yesterday for dinner, and I made sure to make enough. I try to, when I cook on Saturday for dinner, make something that there's going to be enough that I don't have to cook again on Sunday night. This screw is, there we go. It's wanting a cross thread. yeah, so I try to make something that have enough to eat on Sunday as well. And I made tacos last night. So there should actually be enough taco stuff to have tacos for lunch and dinner tonight. Somehow, some way, seems like we have Mexican on Sunday night. There's a really good Mexican restaurant here in town, and with the price of fast food, it is actually cheaper to go and order dinner from the Mexican place and pick it up from the Mexican restaurant. A lady normally gets chimichangas. I normally get some sort of street tacos, normally tacos al pastor. And then the kids will get like quesadilla and rice kids meals. And the total for that is less than 2 value meals and 2 happy meals from McDonald's. And the food is way better. And you have way more. It comes with a bunch of nachos and salsa on the side. And all that stuff. Last couple times, I think I actually got the fajita burrito. The chicken and steak fajita stuff. But in a burrito. That was really good. But it is... I mean, it's not just true for the Mexican restaurant. There's a couple places in town like that where I can order legit dinner, legit meals faster than, and well, for less money or the same amount of money as fast food. Don't tell Keela about the screws. I have no more space in my garage shop because I save everything. Your neighbor thinks you're a better hardware store than the local Ace. Yeah, that is my biggest pet peeve. So we don't have an Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware traditionally has been the only one of the hardware stores that stocks any metric like screws that we would use in 3D printing at a reasonable price. Anyway, sometimes in Lowe's you can find a couple of them in a drawer at like $250 for a freaking screw. But yeah, none of the hardware stores carry anything. Not even like TSC. They've got metric stuff, but it doesn't go down this small. It seems to start at like the M8 range, which is understandable. You're not putting M3 screws on tractors. Or whatnot, but I hate the fact that there is no good source for metric hardware. All right, let's get the bearing back in here. We're going to need to run the belts for this. Clearly, I reversed which sides these were on. So I need to make this so that the micron symbols are the right way around. So I'm just going to reverse the sides that these are on. There we go. Now the Micron logos are the right way around. All right, let's get some belts routed. These are going to be the tough ones because these were cut just long enough. There are little rubber stoppers over here as well. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's one belt. All right, and there's our belts routed. I got to print that carriage once this filament dries some. Because the carriage I have right now is the boop carriage. Out of coffee. But I really want to make sure that filament's nice and dry. Oh, and I got to print the new ant head stuff for the leaf cutter, for the filament cutter, too. I forgot all about that. There's a bunch of tool head stuff I need to print, apparently. So, let's unhook this from the tool head, unhook the CAN bus wire. All right, there we are. Now we have some panels. They go like this. Will these connectors fit through the top? Yep. Just got to bend them slightly. Get them through here. Come out of there. Come out of there. Finally got my car back from the body shop. After over a month of them fixing that. At first I didn't mind because at first they gave me a Challenger for like 2 weeks, but then they gave me a Toyota Corolla, the small one, and I hated everything about that car. All right, so I'm gonna have to take these off in order to get this in there. Oh goodness. You just went in there, come back out of here. All right. So there is these that hold the panels, but they have little notches that help hold them into the extrusion so they won't go back in exactly as they came out, because I took the extrusions apart around the panels when I took it apart. Time for you to make some coffee and get ready for Steve's stream. Understandable, sir. Thank you for stopping in and hanging out. Good to have you. I'll see you over on Steve's stream and chat. How close are we getting? What time is it? 12:27. You got another half hour before Steve's stream. Test passed, fan issue resolved. Time to resume ERCF printing. Awesome. What was wrong with the fan? Was the fan dead, or is it just something else? So we've got this thing getting ready to print the top layer on our we'll call it there. Not sure if you can make out that filament path or not, but that looks way better. It's got that nice bit of straight pathing before it gets to that filament sensor. That's the one pin failed, recrimp fixed. Awesome. It's good to hear. But that's that part that Terry made for us earlier. Well, and we got it printing away over there. It's right next to the standard part. Well, not the standard one, the newest revision from the Box Turtle team. How long of a screw goes in there? So I guess these. These just screw into the idler at the top, and then your top and bottom panel there screws into them. So this is the part. Panels just screw onto the top and bottom of this, and this screws onto your idler. Oh yeah, I'm super confident in it. I think it'd be odd if I wasn't confident in it. You got to believe in yourself, Steven. Plus, I wouldn't have gone around asking a bunch of people to dedicate their time and energy into something if I didn't believe in it. And Terry did an awesome job executing it. So, like, he did better than job executing it than I did as far as thinking it up in my head. All right, there's that. Now we can take this panel and try to get that in here. So these are real tight fits. What are you catching on? All right, there we go. And now I'll get screwed up on there. Oh God, Steven, we're just gonna put Terry's part in there. Yeah, we're just putting Terry's part in. We're gonna cut the PTFE tube. One, I've got more PTFE tube. Two, whatever the issue is, whatever the fix is, those PTFE tubes are going to need to be shorter. I am 1,000% confident on that. All right. Let's get this panel screwed up on there. Steven, there's also another thing too. Like, one of the biggest reasons why, I mean, I don't have friends and people dislike me is A, when I know I'm right about something, like, I'm not going to give on it. And two, I have a tendency to be right. Because I try not to open my mouth until I know I am. So if I don't know the answer, I try to go get it. Then when I say something, I generally tend to be right. My ex-wife hated it about me. Current old lady hates it. I got the nickname in elementary school. So, name on Discord and stuff like that, Darth Pope. Because when I was in elementary school science class. My science teacher told me I was like the Pope because I kept getting into arguments with him about stuff. And then it would turn out that I was right in the end. And he said I was like the Pope. I was infallible. Which clear, I mean, I'm not. But that's what he said. He's like, it's like the universe bends itself to your will. Because I am certain that I was right yesterday, but apparently today the universe has changed the facts. So I got the nickname Pope. And all my friends at the time started calling me that. And then later on they told me I was an evil Pope. So I got added the Darth to it. Lemur, Jeremy, I get it, man. Go eat those pancakes. Go eat that bacon. I wish I was having pancakes and bacon. That sounds fantastic. Terry, that's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, so it's important to admit when you're wrong and to own that. It's also extremely important to not speak on things that you don't know about. It's important to know what you don't know and go find that information. If you don't know, say you don't know, and then go find out and learn. Like, it's a whole lot easier nowadays than it was when I was a kid growing up. When I was a kid, I'd have to pull out an encyclopedia or some textbooks and go figure these things out. Now you've got the power of the internet at your hands. Like, you just pull out the phone out of your pocket, type a few things into a search, and 30 seconds later, you know what you didn't know. Learn something. It's like I said, I understand that my personality makes me a very difficult person for people to get along with and people to be friends with, and it causes me to butt heads with people. I don't know. I guess maybe I could do a better job at how I approach things when somebody's wrong about something, and be a little bit more delicate about that, because a lot of times people put a lot of time and effort into that thing, and you just being a jerk and telling them, no, sorry, all your work doesn't matter, you're wrong, doesn't make you the most likable person in the world. That's something I work on and I try at, but I mean, I'm aware of it about myself. All right, we're gonna go this way and start on this side. No, that doesn't help. Why, oh why, is this one idler being such a pain? This panel. Well, anyway, I'll finish getting this top panel put on here while I'm watching Steve's stream. I'm gonna go get ready for watching Steve's stream. I'm gonna heat up some tacos and get ready to watch his stream. If you don't know, I think everybody does, but Steve builds YouTube streaming in 15 minutes. Check it out. Working on a Tic Tac printer, I believe, with ModBot. Some sort of Frankenstein rat rig minion kind of thing, I think. Tell your boys all the time, it says a lot about a person to be able to admit when you're wrong and to ask for forgiveness. That's the only way to be. Nobody's always right. This is true. Pint-sized V minion. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say something, Jack, to add to that, but that says it well. Yep. Being able to admit when you're wrong and ask for help and ask for forgiveness is very important. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, so check out Steve's stream. I can't remember what I was going to say. It's bugging me. Apparently, I'm getting really old. Yeah. I got to find some parts for this and get some stuff printed out. We'll do that after the box turtle part's done printing, I guess. Or maybe sometime this week. So it's ready for next weekend. Got to get some diffusers for these Provoke 3D LEDs, because it needs way more light in here with the smoke panels. It's impossible to see in when it's printing. Yeah. Do you guys want to see like setup for this cartographer and stuff like that, accessory stuff for the box turtle and the trident, or no? Would that be something you'd rather me just maybe make a video on after the fact, or whatever? The reason why I ask is I tried to look up some like videos on cartographer and I couldn't find anything, so that's why I'm asking, because I was originally just going to put it on. I know there's a lot of stuff out there for Beacon, but I didn't see any cartographer stuff, and I think it's about the same. But anyway, taco time. Steve's stream. Y'all have a great day. If you haven't already, please drop a like. Subscribe if you hadn't. We'll be back here again next Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've also been having a habit of doing some streams early Saturday mornings. This week it was, like 9 o'clock. The week before it was like, I don't know, 4 a.m. So keep an eye out for that. You can hit the notify button if you want to get notified of all my random streams, because as it'll say in the intro and the outro, random videos at random times. Random videos randomly. Have a great one.